Good evening, students. From here onwards, since the foundation has been laid out, now we would enter into the detailed discussions on the nature of verbal knowledge, wherein Viswanatha Bhatta really discusses about the various ways in which we can know the nature of the verbal knowledge on one hand, and now we have set and understood the foundation and seen the role of the soul, mind and intellect towards the verbal knowledge. Now you would see out here now, wherein I am not going to go back and make you understand. You will need to remember them. I would be proceeding further along with the discussions in the form of the difficulties, observations, or even you can say the problems that one can see in the discussion that he gives. It's a huge one, and you will find it out that yes, there are ways in which we can draw the different draw the shades, and we can see how to demarcate the differences in the topics itself. So here in the first few of the I should say the recordings of this one, you will be focusing more on the verbal knowledge itself, and later on wherever they are, he starts off his discussions on denotative functions, significatory functions, operations and all those things. I would be telling you so that it becomes easier for you to understand them. Now here he starts off his discussion by these Sanskrit wordings, which you are supposed to know and you are supposed to incorporate even in your writings, and that is what? Padagyanam tu karanam dwaram tatra padartha dihahi shabda bodha phalam tatra shakta dihahi sahakarini. Now this is the wordings that he uses exclusively to make us understand and kick off the discussions on the verbal knowledge. So here first and foremost he says that in order to gain the knowledge of the words, pada is words actually. So here rendering in majority of the books that they write down as verbal knowledge, I would say it would be word knowledge. So taking up the broader view, I'm just going to use the verbal knowledge. However, remember he's focusing more on the word knowledge out here whenever he's discussing in the nature of the verbal knowledge. It's not actually the verbal knowledge, it's actually the word knowledge. So here first and foremost he says that yes, soul is there along with mind and intellect. All three of them are interacting with each other, and there is this close rapport between them which allows the verbal knowledge. This becomes the first act in order to understand the words. Remember these words very clearly, because somehow this is going to be compared with Austin's work, how to do the words with the things, and it's a beautiful textbook again, and you have seen myself that I dedicated a lot of time understanding those chapters or the lectures given to us by John L. Austin himself. Now similarly for Viswanatha Bhatta also, I have seen that detailed understanding of it was necessary to understand his, so that a comparative work can be taken up together. Now this becomes the first act, and after that he says that understanding of the words, that is the padagyanam, that is the knowledge. Again, it's not understanding. Understanding would be a different word altogether. Now forming of the names. Now words comes later on. First it is the name of each and every object that has been given, and that is the reason when we start off with the textbook written by Ludwig Wittgenstein, you will see that he talks about names more than anything else, and he says that each and every object which is present in this world, including the levels that at the sensory experiences, the names are present. So the forming of the names are there for the object. So here you can very clearly, as I have showcased to you out here, if you will see that yes, forming of the names for the object, okay, and for each and every part of that object. Remember, there is a name given to it from our end. Without it, the word cannot be formed, and then going ahead with the Padagyana. And this object is in the external world. So the entire thing comes out like this for us, that there is this object lying in the external world. This object corresponds to, names have been given to it, and there is this correspondence, which we can even call it as mapping, okay, and they map in such a manner that there is one upon the other. You cannot differentiate both of them together. They form the names, and from these names you are able to understand the words. Now the gap between the understanding and the forming of the name, we will be seeing how he is going to, here this is the gap, I would say, for us. However, he is going to discuss about this thing also in the following paragraphs in the textbook. And then the verbal knowledge or the word knowledge, and from there we are able to understand the role of the soul, mind and intellect. Remember the will of the God and how it enters into the specific or the individual soul and the mind. So you are able to, from here we are going to kick off and understand the entire play and how the Padagyanam or the verbal knowledge is going to be acquired for us. So I'm going to stop here and let me proceed with the next. Now my agenda is that step by step give it to you so that you are able to understand as to how he is going by his metric language, like these slokas one after the other, and then he is going to carry forward. So I have just segregated slokas into a small diagrams so that it becomes easier for us to understand where he is taking us to know more about the Padagyanam. And in the next one we will see more about certain things, and we will know what exactly the things are going to take place. Till then, thank you students and take care. Bye.